My gorgeous Gemini, you are going to have a really beautiful experience at the beginning of this week. Hallelujah! My gorgeous Gemini, serious. You are going to have a really beautiful experience, and all I can say to you is it's about something that you were so worried about, something that you were so anxious about, something that you were so nervous about. It's actually going to turn out to be one of the most beautiful experiences, one of the most powerful experiences of your lives. Listen to me very carefully. So I don't know how to explain this to you, but this is really going to make such a huge impact on your life. Like, oh my goodness, because it is going to point you towards a direction that you should go towards, and it is going to change your whole life for the better, like in the shortest way. So this beautiful, gorgeous experience which you are going to have at the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Gemini, this is really going to surprise you, because you were expecting to maybe do something that it's going to make you feel bad, or to maybe to talk to someone that you were like, no baby, no. Do you know what I mean? So this experience is going to be really going to surprise you in itself, which the reason why I repeated this, it's only because it's a different energy and vibration that instantly we are going through, we are dealing with. So that in itself helps us to understand things from a completely different angle, especially when it comes to us reflecting on our on certain things differently. And this is when things become very, very interesting indeed. So my gorgeous Gemini, at the beginning of this week, you are going to have this mind-blowing experience, a really gorgeous and really beautiful experience. This is going to be so important to you and so kind of significant to you, because it's happening at a time where you are spiritually sensitive. You're spiritually very sensitive, and this is not a bad thing. This is a really good thing, which means that you're ridiculously intuitive, and it also means that you should not be surprised that when you maybe deal with certain things throughout this week or even throughout this month, and you respond to these things differently. You should really enjoy this, because it's coming from somewhere different, from a different dimension. What am I trying to say here? This beautiful experience which you are going to have, it's gonna really gonna happen at a time when you're so super intuitive, and that in itself, it's really kind of going to, and at the same time, there is someone going to be on your mind, this specific person who is influential to you, who's a really good influence, maybe somebody really spiritual, or somebody who talks about things that you like to talk about, or somebody who's doing something that you feel a very strong connection to. The bottom line is you are instantly going to be reminded of this particular person who is keeping inspiring you, and this particular person is through that person you're going to understand which adjustment do you need to make. And you will know which adjustment do you need to make. And this is more about like basically you just kind of now realizing that the priorities are like most certainly like, oh my God, changing. And as soon as you become aware of which adjustment do you need to make, it's not that, you know, as soon as you become aware of which adjustment you need to make, sorry, the reason why you're going to be reminded of that particular person who is inspiring you, it's because that particular person, it's like kind of through that person you will know which adjustment you need to make in order to have this, in order to take on some kind of opportunity. There you go, I've said it. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Do you know what I mean? It took me a while, even plant is shaking like, oh my God. No, seriously, it's like basically, so this is it. So you, through that person, you will understand which adjustment you exactly do you need to make in order to really go for some kind of opportunity that is going to be absolutely obvious here to you whatsoever, because it is not only about beautiful and gorgeous experience, but it's about what is actually, what you're going to see, what are you actually going to come across, what is actually going to inspire you to the point where you're not going to be able to think about it whatsoever. And even more so, you will be able to do things that you're so passionate about. You will be able to, like, you know, do things that make you feel good. You know, you're going to feel extremely optimistic. You're going to feel this pleasure and happiness while you're thinking about it, let alone what impact on your life this is actually going to bring to you. This in itself, you need to understand that it is to do like with a bright future, you know, manifesting through hard work and creativity. But then at the same time, you know, you just need to also understand that now within the next 4 months, the next 4 months are going to be very interesting. The next 4 months are going to be completely different to what you could have possibly imagined whatsoever, because this here, baby, is going to change absolutely everything. Within the next 4 months, you need to understand that it's a lot about you using logic and structure to increase your success, my gorgeous Gemini. You need to get organized, and you also need to understand that now it's time to be firm but compassionate leader as well. This is what you need to understand, okay? This is what you need to understand. Because there is a problem with one specific person. Someone is creating a very toxic balance and negative balance in your life. Almost as if like, oh my God, I'm turned into Dark Lala. Almost as if like someone needs to go. You know what I mean? So you need to, this is why you need to kind of like ground yourself a little bit and see who is making a negative impact on your life, because there is a one specific person who is sadly slowing you down only because karmically something has come to an in between you and that particular person. That's nothing like horrible, it's nothing nasty. It does happen in life. We live and learn and we keep on moving forward, okay? So there's nothing bad about it whatsoever. You know, this is going to reflect on your life so nicely. It's not only about the opportunity and all that. You see, this is already going to lead towards you cutting out some kind of like a toxic energy and vibration out of your life. But this is also going to bring you control over over certain things which have made you inconsistent with things that you should have been consistent with. It is really going to be the time when you need to understand that you need to be quick, you need to be smart, and at the same time, this is going to make you feel so creative. Look, you just pay attention to how creative you're going to feel because of all this from the beginning of this week. And this in itself, it's already going to bring such a willpower and confidence, you know, and that in itself, it's also like kind of such a brilliant sign that, you know, you need to understand that this is going to lead slowly but surely towards the resolution of like kind of nasty difficulties in your life that you've been going through over the last months, you know. So this is why as this is going to be so important, you know, but it's also like kind of creating such a powerful moment, which is like kind of the end of like some kind of addiction, but also codependency as well, which is ultimately gonna lead towards plans that are gonna work absolutely perfectly. Pay attention to the ideas you're going to have at around this time, my gorgeous Gemini, because these ideas that you're going to have are gonna lead towards big rewards indeed. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, a very important news you are going to have. And this news is really going to surprise you, but it's gonna be good, it's gonna be brilliant. This news is to do with the progress, what exactly you're making progress with, and this is gonna mean to you so much. But then at the same time, you know, it's still a bit more energy that you need to put in. You still need to work on it a little bit more. This is not finalized whatsoever, but it is going to bring you this worldly power. You're gonna feel accomplishment, you're gonna feel confidence, and especially when it comes to like, you know, something that was making you feel so unhappy and you had to deal with it for a while, but this is just more about you waiting for that certain amount of time to actually pass, and then you can do what do you want to do. You know, this is so important. This important news that you're gonna have about the progress, it's gonna be significant. You know why? Because now you can plan your next steps, you know. This is what you need to remember. Now it's time to plan the next step, you know, on to the long term. But you have to be patient here whatsoever, okay? And by the time you get to the last part of this week, it's like, oh my goodness, you know, it's some kind of disagreement and it's some kind of like a little bit of an argument with someone here. And I don't like this person whatsoever. I do not like this person whatsoever. A bit of like like maybe disagreement or argument with somebody, but I don't like this person because this is somebody who's not nice, somebody who is dishonest, somebody who's really bad influence in general, somebody who's very insincere, somebody who's like kind of lying to people, and somebody who's constantly taking advantage of people. You know, this particular person, you know, you are going to have a bit of a disagreement with, because, you know, you will realize that, you know, there is something, it's like a basically, you will realize that that person has done something, and that in itself was on your mind for a while, and that in itself you were like kind of uncertain about, because that in itself, it's really kind of it was making you to be uncertain, you see. So this is going to be important when it comes to your overcoming some kind of obstacle here, when it comes to you needing to realize that you are gonna, the only way out of this situation is to actually you have a negotiation with somebody else, somebody who you do not want to have a negotiation with, but you're gonna need to do this, and that's gonna be the only way to be out of this situation. But it's almost as if you're gonna kind of think like, oh, I need to have a negotiation with somebody else about something else in order to come out of this situation, away from this like kind of deceptive person, you see. But you're gonna be put off because you're gonna think that negotiation that you need to have with somebody else who you're worried about, you're gonna think, oh no, that person is horrible and this and that, but it's actually going to turn out to be really good and really important, because it's going to turn into something really, really successful, and you are going to be surprised. This is going to be the time of release, because it's going to help you to let go of a part of the past. And this is going to lead towards an ending that makes a way for new opportunities. So you're going to realize, oh my God, now it's time to move on. And now, you know, this is really going to kind of help you so much to be honest with yourself, with exactly what you want to do. But most importantly, it's also going to open your heart to love and to things that you're passionate about. My gorgeous Gemini, this is so important for you to understand. And I do know that it may be like a little bit confusing, but you know, it is gonna lead towards you realizing that your luck is changing in a good way indeed. And sometimes we do have to tap into the waters we don't want to tap in, you know. But then at the same time, if you don't jump into the water, you're never gonna learn how to swim, my gorgeous Gemini. And now it's most certainly time to swim, baby. Swim as far as you possibly can. So now I'm going to basically shuffle these oracle cards, and I'm going to see what is going to be your oracle card of the week. So I'm going to shuffle these oracle cards, and I'm going to see what is going to be your oracle card of the week. Gemini. Flow. Just go with the flow, baby. Go with the flow. You need to be honest with yourself. You need to be honest with yourself when it comes to this week. Because if you don't go with the flow, you're going to be stuck. And you don't want to be stuck for much longer now. This is very, very important. So this is a clear sign and indication that at around the midweek, you are really pretty much so going to find yourself on a very, very interesting crossroads. Your mind is going to be telling you one thing, your heart is going to be telling you something completely different. So what on earth do you go for? Where you need to understand is right now that you have to go with your heart. You have to go what your heart is telling you. Your mind is gonna be kind of wanting you to kind of do things in a very safe and secure way, but your heart will need more. If you just like kind of follow your mind, then you are not going to change much. You're not going to bring enough changes into your life. But if you follow your heart, you need to understand that you are going to open a sacred door here. This sacred door are going to change absolutely everything. But you need to give a credit to yourself, and you need to understand that this is the time of changes, and changes can only happen when you decide to do so. So this is going to be such a great test, my gorgeous Gemini, and everything is going to be down to you. whether you're going to be keep on going on the same path, or whether you're going to try something that your heart is telling you that you should do, but your mind is just like kind of slowing you down. Oh no, don't do it, you know, just stay kind of on the same path. So this is something to do where you need to understand you're not going to be able to do unless you come out of your comfort zone indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Gemini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.